we're going to, I'm going to bring Paul Evans up. And here's the deal. I know some of you have been to conferences where the speakers go for 90 minutes and they speak and give really great content, and then the last 10 or 15 minutes they're selling you on their package or their service, their opportunity, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I've asked our speakers not to do that. These speakers have come here to teach you, and they are not selling from stage. I've asked them just to give you 60 minutes of their best stuff. I do ask that if you're interested in what they're talking about, or if something they say resonates with you, visit with them, talk to them about their product or service, because these are the people that I learn from. These are the people that I have consciously surrounded myself with. Have you seen the gift of that? Have you seen the power in surrounding yourself with positive people? Anybody? How many of you feel like this is the first time you've been around a group of people that understands what you're doing? Look around. You guys look around. The first time you're around somebody that gets you, that is priceless. That will move you faster than anything else. I cannot imagine a life without a mastermind or a coaching group now. I just can't, because nobody understands me. As much as they try, they just don't. So I'm going to bring up someone who you know, because I razz him so much, is a very, very good friend of mine. Paul and I actually only met 18 months ago, if you can believe that. We met 18 months ago in a mastermind group, and Paul is pretty antisocial. Am I lying? Mark, am I lying? He's pretty antisocial. Doesn't really have a lot of patience with people that are silly or frivolous or not like-minded. You know, he's just really selective about who he surrounds himself with. We were in a mastermind group together, and a couple of things he said really resonated with me. And as I'm leaving the room to go find him at a break, he and Mark are already running to the elevator, like waiting for the elevator to come before any people come. Hurry, hurry, hurry. I said, wait a minute, across the room. Wait a minute, preacher boy. We got to talk. I know that voice and that accent. You've got to be in the ministry somehow, some way, and you're from the South. We are going to have a conversation, and the rest, as they say, is history. 18 months ago, I can't believe it's only been 18 months. Very close friends with Eddie and I, and adore his family, and just integral to my business and my daily life. So a lot that Paul has taught me is about focus and discipline. Now, you guys know that part of my charm and my curse is how honest and open I am. You know that I have dealt with a weight issue for years and years and years. I've lost over 100 pounds. But I made a commitment this last year to finally get to my goal, to finally just get the last little bit off. And the fact is, I missed my goal, and I missed it big. I mean, I didn't even come close to it. I could say it's because I've been traveling. I could say it's because I'm so busy with work, and you know I am. I could say it's because of the 4 kids. I could blame it on a lot of things, but I'm just going to be authentic with you and tell you it's because of my lack of discipline. Because I lack discipline in the areas of exercise and what's going in my mouth. I lack discipline in that area. I choose to focus my discipline in other areas. And I am honest with myself about that. And what I'm going to ask of you is that you be honest with yourself about the area in your life right now that you're lacking discipline in. Paul is the one that made me just face to face with that. You're not disciplined about your time, your work habits, your distraction, your focus, the avenue where you're going. You have to have the discipline in that area. And discipline is not always fun. Can we agree on that? But if you do not discipline yourself, someone else will always be happy to discipline you, which will be your bill collectors or your boss or, you know, any number of people. So I'm going to be just open and authentic and tell you I have lacked a discipline in that one key area in my life. And I get that. I'm taking responsibility for that. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to blame it on this, or I'm going to blame it on that, or oh, I have all these circumstances. Stop it. We all have circumstances. There is never a perfect time for any path that you're on. There is only now. There is only now. So Paul Evans, I've asked him to talk about raw results and extreme focus. Paul Evans, come tell us how you get more done in 1 week than we get done in a year.
Cut off just like me. So yeah, I mean, it's a huge advantage. Being short is so awesome. I never bump my head on anything. I've never been in a theater and somebody says, hey, could you move? I can't see. It's never happened. We age better. You see cute old people and they're short and you go, look how cute. You see tall people that are old and you go, man, disformed. You tall people got up, you ironed your pants. Not me, I got up. That's it. That's all there is to it. We joke about it in our family. It's just a big thing with our kids. 2 quick stories. one when Sam, who's now 16, and he's the one, if you look in about having a 5-week-old, may say 2 weeks in there, but Sam was 5 weeks old. My first wife passed away. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. And he, when he was about 4 years old, we were out at the park, and he's up on my shoulders, and we're going around, or maybe it was about 6. I can't exactly remember the age at this point. You know, when height's a disadvantage age is a little bit of a challenge. So he's up on my shoulders, and we're walking around the park. He said, "Daddy." I said, "Yes, son." Because you know when they ask you advice, you drop it. "Yes, son." He said, "Daddy, I want to ask you a question." "Yes, your dad will impart wisdom." He said, "Daddy, me and you together, we're almost as tall as an adult, aren't we?" Me and Stephen, now Stephen's 13, my son with Marla, my wife, also known as Baby Girl. And so we're at the movie place, we're renting some DVDs, and so we're in there, and there's a box of Goobers, you know, chocolate-covered peanuts. I said, "Stephen, check it out, boy. You got your own candy, Goobers." He said, "Ha, ha, ha, ha." And so then we turned around, and I'm sitting there, and he taps me. He says, "Dad, look, you got your own candy, too." And I turn around, and it's Runts. So, I mean, it's the way it is. The truth is, we just got to know who we are. Just be who we are. Now, I used to be a professional speaker, but it's so much easier being an unprofessional speaker. So that's what I am. So I'll be like punching the screen and messing up. So anybody who's like, "I've got to be perfect," I'm about to totally annihilate that. My life is so wrapped up in pleasurable imperfection. I love not having it right. I love just getting out there and experimenting and having a good time. I was talking with Tricia last night. They're doing P90X. I'm going to give you the cinnamon roll. I'm real disturbed about how much you're exercising. And this is like one of their first trips that they actually brought their exercise clothes with them. She said, "Do you pack your exercise clothes?" I said, "Of course I pack them. I don't use them, but I pack them." But nobody's doing P90X right. Has anybody done this? Okay, a few. Probably not doing it right. I had a friend that was doing P90X. I joined him on day 87 of 90. That's the way to do it. Start on day 87. You got 3 days left. You've completed. So we're all starting too early. Start late. And then the other thing is, I've gained 15 pounds watching P90X. You can finish an entire bag of Cheetos watching one of those DVDs. It's crazy. Anyway, unprofessional speaking. One thing that, as you see some photos here, bottom right on the Paul Evans page, I'm holding a little girl. Her name is Florecita. She is from Mexico. And half of my time I spend with an organization called 100X Missions. We build orphanages around the world. We work with orphans. The reason I'm in business is really for that. You know, I've got to admit that I am not really profit-driven. I mean, I want to make money, and I'm profit-driven, but for a purpose, for a goal. It's not simply to make money, because we're going to end up spending it, or we're going to end up getting in debt, or we're going to end up getting stuff that doesn't really last that long. And many of us have gone down the stuff road and found out, wow, I'm not really as happy as I thought I was going to be when I'm doing that. But you know what? Every time you give money to feed a child, you never have regret. I've not known one time that I gave money away to a charity and went, "I wish I had not done that." But I've bought vehicles that I wish I'd not bought. I've bought houses that I wish I'd not bought. We've all got regrets, but when you are giving, when you're making money, not just to help your family, but to help those around you, you never regret that. And to me, that's a huge motivation. If I'm going to be motivated only by making another dollar, I'm not going to get much done. But if I can get outside of myself and say that I'm going to help people, it makes a huge difference. We were talking last night about you've got information that is going to help people. That is critical, because that's where the alignment and where a lot of the energy and a lot of the focus comes in. You know, even speaking to a crowd, to me, it's an important role, because let's say there's 100 people here. And let's say the next hour stinks. So the next hour is awful. I didn't waste an hour. I wasted 100 man hours. You 100 could be out there doing something positive, something cool. So I'm responsible for 100 hours. I'm not responsible for 1 hour. When we are working in business and we're sharing this information, we're not responsible simply for one product and one life. We are responsible for hundreds or thousands of lives. That's the type of influence that we have, and that's a motivation for me for getting things done. I do get up about 4 a.m. I try to have almost all of my work done by the time my family gets up. That's kind of my goal for the day. I'm going to get done by the time they get up, and then they go to school. Marla is a school teacher. But that keeps me on track too, because here is my work time. And then I work the rest of the day, but it's more play work than real work. And so I align things because I'm not wired for discipline. As Carrie's mentioned, I'm not wired for discipline. I'm not wired for rules or regulations. I'm not wired for structure. My wife is a school teacher. I've seen her check. It's very disturbing. I'm like, what in the world? We were looking at her check one day, and I said, wow, you get this every week? And she said, no. I said, oh, you get this every 2 weeks? And she said, no, I get that every month. I said, baby, that's sad. You know, that was pitiful. And you guys are in the education field. You know what the value that you bring, and this is what kills me. You get paid itty-bitty for a job, itty-bitty, and then you come online to do your own business, and you're still trying to get paid itty-bitty or nothing. But you can do that in the real world. Go out and get a sad paycheck out there. If you're creating your own paycheck, you might as well create a big one. It just seems like it's better. There's Carrie clapping to that. She's like, yeah. So, one more structure story before we get to laying all this out. So Marla is a school teacher. She calls me one day and says, Paul, can you come up, pick my check up, and take it to the bank? I'm really against such things. That's why there's direct deposit. But we're going to have to actually go to the bank physically. Very disturbing. So she says, I've got lunch from 11:32 to 11:50. I said, okay. I'm pulling in. I'm usually early, but there's traffic. Pulling in at 11:33. She's like, baby, where are you? Where are you? I said, I'm in the parking lot. She said, I have lunch from 11:32 to 11:50. Okay, I'm coming in. I come in, we eat real quick. We eat. And then I get up, and I said, okay. She goes, where are you going? I said, we're going to get your check. I'm taking the bank. She said, did you hear a bell? I said, no. She said, lunch is from 11:32 to 11:50. She goes, I know what the problem is. She goes, we are under what's called a schedule. I said, this is very disturbing. I mean, it broke my heart to hear about that. And then I started thinking about raw results and how do I really get into this whole schedule for the unscheduled. I mean, how many people feel like, wait a minute, I'm distracted? All right, several. How many struggle with focus? All right, we're all in the same boat. It's not like anybody's going, I'm the only one that wrestles with focusing. We all do. It's just the way we're wired. You know, everything's more interesting than what we're doing. You know, unless we're so sold on what we're doing, it's the most interesting thing. People say, well, I just want to find my niche and make a bunch of money. Yeah, get involved in something you are not connected with. How long is your interest level going to stay there? You can't even watch a movie that you're not interested in. What makes you think you're going to build a business in something you're not interested in? Find something you're pumped about, you're excited about, and that helps keep you focused. So raw results is really about finding what works. RAW stands for repeating accuracy wins. This is old school. I'm old school. I'm an old dude. I'm 41. And I've got a bunch of fill in the blanks, and a lot of you people are like, that's work. It's too bad. Fill those blanks in. Repeating accuracy works. Once you find out what works for you, you can repeat it over and over and over again. Brad Sim is huge on systems. And I'm not big on complex systems because I don't get it. But I know what I do well, and I do it over and over and over and over and over, and I love it. I love doing it. And if there's stuff that I don't do well, I don't go, I'm going to go figure out how to do that well. I'm like, weird, that is not part of my model. It does not exist. I'm doing what I do. People will be like, Paul, you can make more money doing X, Y, and Z. I'm not interested in X, Y, and Z. I don't get to X, Y, and Z. This is what I do. We've got to find out what we do. Too many of us are pulling back and not sure what we do well. Or we think it's arrogant to say, this is what I'm good at. That's crazy. That makes no sense. Claim what you're good at and move ahead with it. Be bold with it. Have confidence with it. It's not arrogance. It's simply confidence. I know what I can do, and I do it well, and that's where I spend my time. And now you don't have to be out there on the phone, hey, welcome to today's I Do It Well call. You're going to be blown away by as I operate in the area of my giftedness. You don't have to do that. People know if you're doing it well. It's not like it's guesswork. If it stinks, people let you know. That stunk. Maybe you should consider a different career. It's obvious. So it's not like that we're in this guessing game And this game of, let's find out. If people will let you know, and most of us really know what we're good at. We just don't like to admit it because we've always been told you're not allowed to say it out loud. Fine, don't. Just accept it and move ahead with it. So repeating accuracy. Where are you accurate? Where are you good? Where do you know you produce a result? If you know from 4 to 6 a.m. you can focus like a fiend and get it done, that's your time. That's where you get in there and do it. If it's 9 p.m., heaven forbid, to midnight, whew, crazy, but if that's your time, do it. Some of you folks stay up all night. I'm the reverse vampire. Sun goes down, I'm out. In other words, you must control your thoughts, you must control your actions. You've got to control that. Too many of us have other people that are in control of our lives. Excellent, thank you, Eddie. Too many of us have other people who are in control of our lives. Now, we all have areas that we can't just be total rebels and say, I'm going to have no control. Even somebody wired like me has areas of control. People that control my schedule, control my time. Part of that is my family. They control more of my time than any other area. And because of that, I say no to a ton of stuff. Somebody says, Paul, will you do me a favor? You won't hear me go, yeah. I go, I doubt it, but what is it? Well, that's a great lead. I doubt it, but what is it? Maybe I shouldn't bring it up. Great plan. Good plan. I also use, you're welcome to throw it out there, I'm probably not the one for the job. And I've had things assigned to me in work before, and they're like, Paul, you're in charge of such and such. And I'll say, this is a bad idea. I stink at that. No, you'll be good at it. Fine, I will produce the evidence. And then it doesn't go well. It doesn't go well. But I don't have to do that again. That's not my area of accuracy. Control your thoughts. What's coming into your mind? Control that. You are in control of that. You know, we talk about the monotonous life, or the life that we get up and we go through the same thing over and over and over again. We are in control of what goes into our head. We're controlling what we read and what we listen to. There are only certain times that we're really not in control of that. The problem is most of us don't take control, don't care about that, because that leaves us without an excuse. But if we'll start taking control of our thoughts, and then secondly, our actions, when we start planning things out and saying, this is what I'm going to get done. I get 3 things done a day for the most part, and that's it. And then I don't feel guilty. I have really no guilt. I'm not like this. I'm not like, I could have done more. I'm like, I got done what I said I was going to get done. I am finished. The rest is play. Now wait, I played and got more done playing than most people get done working. This is amazing how this works. So I have my little checklist, and this is it. This is an important task to me. Somebody else may look at my list and say, Paul, you're not really working. That's not very hard. Exactly. I've seen what you're doing. You're working. It is hard. I don't want that. I'm doing this. It's all very simple in my mind. Control. It's a huge word that most of us do not exercise. Somebody says something, our feelings get hurt. Why? Because you didn't control your thoughts. They hurt my feelings. Somebody wrote in, said something to me. Big deal. Who cares? Who cares? There's so many people that get value, so many people who grow, so many people out there who are going to be validated. I heard this years ago. Nobody gives you unsolicited advice for your sake. They do it for their sake. You know, next time you might want to say, do you think that they just give you advice and leave? No, they call their favorite 5. Hey, I just saw the speaker, told them how they could improve. Why'd they do it? They did it for them. They didn't do it for you. Most people make comments and give critiques and are harsh and are rude in all of our areas of our life, not for us, but for them. Almost any negative has been a reflection of the person that it came from. So we've got to control those things, control our thoughts, control our actions. All we have is time. And that's a critical area. When I mentioned my wife, my first wife passed away in my arms. Sam was 5 weeks old. Hopefully, and some of you in here I've already met are widowed. And you don't need to have that experience to just know we've got one life. We've got time involved in that life. We don't know how much it is. Let's make it count. I mean, all of life is really fun to me. I'm goofy most of the time and all of that. But when Barefoot said that I don't have patience for certain things, I don't have patience for insignificance. I really don't. I'm really not trying to be mean. Because there are areas of people's lives that really are significant that we need to take time on and be sensitive about. But when somebody is just out there you know, I just can't get out there and do it. I'm like, what? We had this call last month. And Steve Cordia, he got to hear some of my counseling experience. I'm not on church staff anymore. I would have people come in. I'm the last stop on the church counseling. Last stop. Last stop. So people come in, Paul, you know, we're really wrestling with X, Y, and Z. Okay, here's what you need to do. Boom, 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 boom. Next week they come back. You know, we're really, hold on, wait a minute. Did you come in here last week with this? Yeah? And you've done what? And you want to come in and talk again? I don't think so. Okay, here's your assignment. You are not coming back until you do X. Somebody came in, my children need money, they need help. We've got to help them financially. I said, your children smoke 5 packs a day. They need to stop smoking, and you match their stop smoking habit if you want to give them some money. But if they don't quit smoking, you don't give them any money. And then they leave and talk to senior pastor, Paul hurt my feelings. You know that? We got to grow up. We just got to grow, you know, not physically, but we just got to grow up and move. 4 fundamentals of failure. Number 1, lack of discipline. I'll try to speed up from this point. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to learn from Carrie. Lack of discipline. Heard this on the Rick and Bubba show. Anybody heard of it? Rick and Bubba. Just, okay, excellent, sister. Thank you. 2 sisters giving the heads up. Rick and Bubba, the 2 sexiest fat men alive. Now you want to go listen, don't you? I never listened to their show. I don't really listen to the radio at all, but one morning I just happened to have it on, taking Stephen to school, come back, and they're talking to this guy that's lost like 180 pounds. They said, Scott, how'd you do it? What's your regimen? He said, it wasn't a regimen, it was a word. Somebody said something to me. Oh, you got your feelings hurt? And he goes, well, I was working with the Billy Graham Crusades, and at that time I was the VP of X, Y, and Z, and we had a special guest evangelist in, big name, I can't remember him, but big name, and we're eating supper, and I'm weighing about 400 and something pounds at that time. And I've got a big scoop of mashed potatoes, and I'm about to put it into my mouth. And Rick or Bubba said, that's when the Lord speaks, isn't it? I mean, right when you're in the middle of it. And so he said, yeah, I was about to put it in my mouth, and the guy across the way said, Scott, the Lord really wants to use you, but he can't because you have no discipline. And he said, so I didn't need a regimen. That was enough to tell me I've got to get focused. And we need to get disciplined. Barefoot hit that, and that's what just needs to be on your machine somewhere. I need to get disciplined. It's just not going to happen. Success is not an accident. You're not going to wake up rich. It just doesn't work that way, regardless of what the headlines on the website say. It just takes work and it takes discipline. And you don't have to do it all in a day. Just do a little bit every day. Zig Ziglar said, I didn't gain this weight in one weekend. It was one more bite that did me in. So let's do one more bite every single day on our business. Number 2, lack of desperation. Lack of desperation. I'm desperate, I need money. Really? Do you really need money? Let me tell you how much I need money, okay? I've got a mom, raised by a single mom. She is awesome, isn't she, Mark? I am spoiled. When I woke up in the morning as a child, Mom would say, wake up, wake up, breakfast is ready. I would go downstairs, breakfast is on the table. I would therefore consume breakfast and leave the dishes. I would then go upstairs and take a shower. After I took my shower, clothes down in the shower, area, bathroom, I would leave, my bed would be made, my clothes would be laid out on my bed. Okay, this is my upbringing. Yeah, it's like everybody. Similar story? No. I've been spoiled my whole life. So, worst case scenario for me, and this is pretty sad. Listen, internet dries up, no money, no nothing. Everybody that I'm associated with, my offline consulting practice, says, Paul, you stink. I'm tired of you loudmouth. You're gone. And I've got no money. We foreclose on the house. We lose our cars. We go live with Mama. Is it embarrassing? I guess, but I don't really get embarrassed. So I guess I'm not that upset about it. Why? Because if desperation, most of us, we like to say that we're desperate for something, but if we lose it all, if we've got one relationship, and I don't want to hit on anything sensitive because some of you may not have this, but if you've got one relationship from one person in your life that loves you and will take you in, if I lose everything, I never miss a meal, and I never sleep on the street. And there's many, maybe not all, but many in this room are in the same position. So we say we're desperate, but the truth is we can lose it all and still be okay. We may not like it, but desperate's a strong word to me. And I hear so many times people saying, I'm going to do this because I need X. And often we really don't. However, why is my motivation orphans? Because they really do. They do. They have lost it all. They really are desperate. Paul Evans is never really desperate. I live in America. I mean, worst case scenario, Mama says, boy, I'm tired of laying your clothes out. You on the street. And we go to the welfare office and we go into public housing. Maybe it's not the area that I want. I'm living in America. Come on. If we're going to be desperate, let's be for real. I may be out of time. 3, lack of drive. A lot of us just aren't driven enough. Carrie has really taught me this. I'm not going to that zany level that she is. She is constant. She works, she works, she works, she works, she works. And then when she plays, she plays. But be driven, have that goal, be excited. And a lack of dexterity. Some of us just aren't flexible. They're just not flexible. It's just the way, my business is different. You're selling stuff. It's not that difficult. It's the same formula for everybody. Restaurant, online business. We got to get people to our site. We got to get them on our list. We got to sell them something. I'm a partner in a restaurant. We got to get them to the door. We got to capture their information so we can market to them all over again because they keep getting hungry. And we sell them something. And we upsell them. How about an order of cornbread without order? You know, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. We act like online, we're doing this mysterious. We're in the online world. And it's the same process. Let's be flexible and see it for what it is. How to make it. How long am I supposed to go barefoot? I'm going to get mine too. Okay, it's 9:42. What time do I end? 10:25. Okay, well, okay then. Bing! What does that mean? Pavlov's dog. Okay, change your attitude. How to make it happen. Number 1, change your attitude. I think that most of the time I'm positive. I can definitely be cynical, but attitude to me is not silver lining. Everything's not great. It's just not. Every day is not a good day. It's all right. Some customers stink. Fire them. You know, let them go. It's all right. There's plenty of people in the world that are satisfied. You know, there are plenty of negative people, so their spot's taken. I don't want to be included with them. So I'm going to be positive. Now, I'm probably going to be sarcastic. I'm going to be smiling a lot. I wake up happy. My girl isn't always excited. On the honeymoon, when I woke up, day 2, you know, baby, what's going on? Stop. After I take the shower, we can communicate. You know, okay, I understand the rule here. You know, direct, that was one of our other big rules, is be clear. I don't speak in code. If I'm doing something wrong, we're talking about this at breakfast, if I'm doing something wrong, say that's stupid. See, I get that. Don't say, Paul, do you believe that's the best way to do that? Well, yes, that's why I did it that way. What do you mean? Is that the... Of course it is. Would I waste my time doing it the wrong way? But when she goes, baby, that was stupid, that makes sense to me. Okay. So let's change our attitude. Let's look out positive. Let's look at the value that we present. Let's look at what we do. Let's be happy. Oh, please. Let's smile a little bit more. I mean, business, I really think is supposed to be fun. I mean, think about your friendship list. We did these in high school. I don't know if you did it. What do you want in a friend? What are some of the things you want in a friend? Loyalty, honesty, dependability, love, trustworthy, humor. You know, nobody said, you know, oh, good looking. Wow. I always love the good shallow answer to, but no, you know, nobody said liar, miserable, gossip. It's not on our list. So let's not be any of those things. We're not attracted to that. So let's change our attitude. Let's be what we like. If we like having fun, let's attract fun people. Here's what I've noticed over this year. Starting at the beginning of January, those of you on the Nicheology Profit Letter have found this out. We've had 114 issues of Nicheology Profit Letter this year. I decided to publish more, to show more of my personality. It's hard to do writing. And it's hard to do with video for me. I like a crowd. I can feel where you are. I know where you are. I know who's paying attention, who's not. Wake up right now, no eye contact. I know all of those things. So I'm aware, I'm acutely aware of all those things. So I said I'm going to publish more. The more I've showed of my heart and who I am, 2 things have happened. One, sales, of course, have increased just naturally. I'm not against it. Second of all, I've noticed too that I am attracting more and more of the people like me. More people who are, if you look at my blog and you look at the comments, you're not going to find any nutcases commenting. You're not going to find any angry people commenting. Why? Because I don't write angry posts and I don't attract angry people. And though I'm weird, somehow I've not attracted a lot of weirdos. But I've attracted hyperactives. I've attracted people that want to get stuff done. I've attracted people with high value systems because that's important to me. I don't want to attract people who just want to make money, so trick somebody, made money, trick, they fell for it. I'm not wired that way, so I don't attract those people. So the more we are like that, the more we change our attitude is who we are going to attract. I'd love to say that's optional, but unless you're a real faker and liar, that is what's just going to happen. If you're a miserable person and you're getting all these miserable people and you're confused, this is not a mystery. If you wake up in the morning and say this is a bad day, and at the end of the day you go, this day sucked, it's not a mystery. You prophesied early in the morning, this is going to be a bad day. It's what you're going to get. And it can actually be a bad day, but if you're kind of like a positive person, you'll skew it. And you'll be like, wow, that's a pretty good day. Somebody else like, man, that was a disaster. What are you talking about? Yeah, but we're still alive. You know, so there we go. Just one little point. How's this work? Oh, change your attention. Change your attention. Where are you placing your focus? What are you looking at? We're going to get into this in a little bit more detail in a few minutes, especially with who we're surrounding ourselves with. But we've all got attention. We've all got focus. What am I watching? Who am I spending time with? We're in control of this attention. Some things are non-optional. But the television being on, hello, it didn't just happen. You turned it on, you went to that show. It fed you some bad stuff. And so then you're going, I don't know what happened to the day. Soap operas, that's what happened to the day. Forums, that's what happened to the day. Sitcoms, that's what happened to the day. And then sometimes our attention is just on the wrong thing. And we'll feel like we got a bunch of stuff done, but we didn't get the right stuff done because our attention is on a convoluted concept. It's not tight, it's not clear, and so we get in there and we've got bad attention and we're training ourselves in a negative way. And then change your attainment. I really would love for you to do this exercise. Really, even right now, and you don't have to call this out, but we'll have a couple of minutes of, a couple of seconds of silence. What do you really want to attain? I mean, really. I mean, you might like $1 million, but do you really need $1 million? And someone like, I sure do. And I'll guarantee you that $1 million is way better than no $1 million. Let's be honest. But what are you really trying to attain? Is it really money? And that's going to be part of it. So write money down, absolutely. You know, money. Is it freedom? Is it joy? Is it producing value and you know that others benefited? Is it knowing that you've affected 1,000 lives, 2,000, 5,000, 100,000 lives? Is it that you have changed the life through your course, through your work, through what you're selling? Is it that you want to attain a level of notoriety and fame? There's certainly nothing wrong with that. I feel like as long as your motive is pure, because if you're out there and you're semi-famous or even famous, you affect way more lives being famous than being infamous or something derogatory. And so think about that. We'll just have a couple of seconds here of silence and just think about what you really want to attain. And write it down in code if you're afraid somebody's going to copy your answer. I think at my core, what I want to attain is that I want other people to be better off because of me. I just want people to be better off. Are they going to be perfect? No, I can't give that example. I just want to be better off. I want to be a little bit better. I want you guys, at the end of this session, if you just have one moment of clarity and focus, to me it's a little bit better. I want people to be a little bit better. Barry wants people to do their bar better, to make more money. It's better. That's really what we're all in, but don't steal mine. But get your own to say, this is what I really want. This is what I want to attain. You know, I want my life to count. Sherry died really young, but her life counted. I made the mistake of, because I'm simple now. I'm not for the, I've been down the complex route. It is not fun. So when Sherry died, I said, let's have it all at the funeral home. It seated 300. And we had way over 1,000 that came to the visitation. It was looped around this building. And at the funeral, people just stood outside. I really actually felt a little bit bad because everybody couldn't come in. But what it told me is that her life counted. It mattered. Listen, if you're a parent, your life counts. If you're teaching anyone anything, and guarantee you they're watching and learning, your life counts. So what we're doing here is we're taking control of it, and we're saying with attainment, this is how I want my life to count. It doesn't have to be ethereal. It doesn't have to be this big legacy statement. It can be as simple as, I want people to do better business in X industry. I want to help people make more money so they have more free time. It disturbs me that people are in cubicles. It disturbs me that people don't have control of their time in their life. I don't like that, so that's part of my attainment. I'm hopefully going to help other people get out of it. It's amazing that some don't want to go willingly. Controlling your thoughts and actions. You told me this would work. You did it wrong. Okay, millionaire filter. Echo off the back wall. Filter equals you give no time or attention to anything that will not contribute directly to the result you want. You give no time or attention to anything that will not contribute directly to the result you want. I play a lot because I get the result I want during the time that I work. And I don't let other people control my time. I'm pretty rough on that. Here's what we're going to look at. Influence, energy, these things. Okay, don't have to write those down yet. Let's do this. Filtered influence. Number one, people. Number one. This is a lot of notes, I know. You're going to have to go back and think about it a little bit. So it's not like one of these talks where you, okay, now I've got the answer. You need to go back and review. People, friends and family, you're going to have to make a list of these things. Business associates, business mentors. There are friends and family you need to quit spending time with. But they're friends and family. I'm so sorry. There are some that, I hit a lot of sensitive issues. My father was not around growing up. I did not have my dad. Some of you are going to think this is incredibly insensitive. And I apologize, and you're more than welcome to try to come up afterwards and correct me. It's not going to go well. So my dad passed away a couple of years ago. But when he got on his deathbed, he wanted to create a relationship. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said, Dad, you know, I love you in a biological way, but I don't know you. And I don't even have to forgive you. I give you my forgiveness if you want it. But what do I have to forgive you for? You weren't there. You didn't do anything wrong to me. You were absent. I said, I don't sit here going, my dad wasn't here, I'm injured. I said, Dad, I'm doing well. I've got a great family. I'm sorry that we never had a relationship. That wasn't my decision. It wasn't. I said, and there's nothing to forgive. I'm not angry at you. I'm not bitter. I don't feel like I missed life. All right, so I didn't go, well, I'm putting my business on hold. Me and Pop got to get back together. I just couldn't do that. I'm sorry. I know that's probably insensitive to some. But, you know, when you're 39 years old, you know, that was my decision. Because I knew that influence, I gave him what he needed as far as forgiveness and those things, but that influence wasn't going to be healthy for either one of us, ultimately. Business associates. Over the past year and a half, I formed some great business associates. I love this mastermind group. I really do. When Carrie was talking about me not being social, I am not social with people I don't like. I don't entertain them, and I don't go, I'm supposed to be polite. You're a guru. How are you? Let's do business together. I'm just like, no, I don't like them. I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm really not trying to be ugly. And I'm a believer, so some people are already like, well, you know, how can you be a Christian and not like people? You know, read the word. There's a lot of unliked in there. There's I'm just telling you. I mean, it's there. You know, we've got to quit. We got a false belief pattern about a lot of things. So You get to choose your business associates. You get to choose this. The people you're learning from, you've chosen that. No, they used some mind control to make me buy the product. No, you put in the credit card and you chose that influence. If there's somebody that has low moral fiber, you may choose not to learn from them. If you have low moral fiber, you may choose to learn from them. It's fine, it's your choice. So I'm super, super selective. More than anyone can really guess. I had a good friend that is I would put in the needy category, and I would not consider myself very high maintenance, and this person's high maintenance. And we would like have breakfast once a week and prayer time once a week. And he was like, man, you know, I feel distant in our friendship. And I'm like, dude, I'm uncomfortable even saying that. He said, well, you know, a lot of friends do more calling and do such and such. I said, are we eating breakfast every week? He said, yeah. I said, I'm spending time. If we weren't friends, I would not be here. I would not placate and say, oh, yes, let's have breakfast together every week. What? I don't understand. So business associates, business mentors, choose them wisely. Choose from people that you know really well, people in the industry that you know and trust. Pick names. You know, I love the Zig Ziglar stuff, the John Maxwell stuff. These people I learn from. And then other people, when you're just getting started, are just going to be a shot in the dark, you know, and then you learn. I was part of another group that I didn't have a strong affinity toward, had some good work, it just wasn't my alignment, so I quit. There are people that I could have business relationships with that make me a lot of money, but I hadn't done it because I quit them, because it's not part of who I am. So there's no real any reason to waste time. I mean, who cares if you made a bunch of money with somebody that you can't stand and who is doing something maybe illegal and low integrity, you know? Places, you got to filter your places, events and seminars. Ha ha, you should have been more careful. You're in here all weekend. Events and seminars, forums and social spaces and sites. You're in control of all the places that you visit, where you spend your time. Nobody forced you to go to that site. Nobody told you to get into that forum and start mouthing off and giving advice or reading 5,000 threads because you're doing research. You are researching. Here's research, scanning. Scanning is research. Scan, scan, scan. Understand what's going on, get the flavor, get the emotion, get the issue. But a lot of forums are filled with people who do not need to be giving advice to other human beings. So what we have to be very careful of is the source of the advice, what they're doing, why they're doing it, and you know, if they're a troll or somebody in there to aggravate. So be real careful. Social, I think that's really a word, I don't know what it means. Social spaces. This has got to be some alignment here. A lot of you probably spend too much time in social spaces. I really don't. Carrie drugged me over into Twitter, and I tweet every now and then, but I'm not just great at that. And really one of the blessings of not being super social, it seems like I'm super social because I smile a lot, but I have to have initiation. People have to initiate with me and I respond. I'm not great at all about going out and saying, oh, look, a bunch of people I want to meet. I'm not really wired like that, but I'm fine if people come up to me. And because of my personality, I do sometimes, it hurts feelings because I didn't acknowledge people that wanted or needed acknowledgement. Especially like in church, there's a lot of people that are out in Walmart and they'll be like, I saw you at Walmart, you didn't talk to me. I was at your knees. What are you talking about? How did I know who you were? Yeah, I appreciate you coming up talking to me. It's a two-way street. I'm going this way though. Okay. Sites that you visit. Sites that you visit. Come on, let's quit wasting time. It's just crazy to be surfing the internet. That place is huge. There's too many places to get lost. There's too much going on. There's too much stupidity. There's too many things that are really interesting where we could be spending our time instead of out there distracting ourselves and saying, oh, I didn't get much done today. Of course you didn't. Oh, but I don't watch TV. Sure you don't. You just surf like a fiend for no apparent reason. So, you know, let's be guarded. Places, things. See, this is a noun. Person, place, or thing. Let's all sing conjunction, junction together. Do y'all know this? Books and trainings, e-zines and emails, support issues. And people will tell you I'm not huge on outsourcing. It's taught a lot. Carrie has to outsource because of her level of drivenness. I'm a control freak. I have to be, I don't do as much stuff. Plus, I just have fun. I like doing design work. I like doing my own stuff. But support issues, I outsource because this is where the angry people come. You know, support issues. So I would definitely filter support issues if you can. If you've got a kid, if you know a kid on your block, put them in charge of your support. Now, I warn you, be careful with that. They'll be sending pictures of a dead cat in the road to your, to your folks. Oh, you want a refund? Check this out. So be careful with that. Be careful. I'm not the one to give advice on this area, but with books and training, e-zines and email, filter your influence on that. Who do you love to learn from? Keep learning. Who gives you value? Keep investing there. People that do nothing but offers, and that's it. If you like that, stay with them. If you don't, quit going, I hate this guy. All he does is make offers. Well, get off his list and quit talking about him. You've just wasted a bunch of air. So books and training, and man, you need to read and you need to study. I've got like on communication. I mean, this is a sad example. I probably have 100 books on communication, and here I am all over the place. So here I am studying communication. I study that because I love it. I've got books on leadership, books on marketing. My bookshelf is huge. I consume thousands of hours of information, but it's not a risk. And if I'm 10 minutes in and it's stupid, I don't go, I paid $1,000, I'm going to get my money out. I'm like, this is stupid. I'm not going to waste my time consuming the stupid. I'm going to go after the stuff that I know is valuable. We're in control of that. Okay, filtered energy equals MC squared. Now there's a word that's about to appear that I do not know how to pronounce, and I'm not even sure it's real, but I think that I saw it in the dictionary. Energy, mass, and claritas, which means speed in a vacuum. E equals MC squared. It's close, I know. It's close. I looked it up. I can't help it's in the dictionary. That may not even be right. We can put another C in there, but I don't know one that's speed in a vacuum. Energy. Energy. You've got to work when you work best. I work best at 4 a.m. I don't go around teaching, you need to get up at 4 a.m. be just like me. You know, chances are you're going to be angry at 4, so it's not your best work time. I wouldn't produce my product when I was angry. I don't think it works out well. I wouldn't answer emails during my low energy part of the day. If you're hypoglycemic, I would not wait till I was drudged down into the anger and depression and then check my email, because there's going to be some things you don't want to deal with. And so you're in a bad mood. If you just had a fight with someone in your life, that's not the best time to work. I'm going to go and get some, I'm going to leave you alone and go get my work done. That is going to be great. I'm real excited about what you're going to produce and all of that. So when you're energetic, use that time. Try to foster that time. Try to control that time. Give the best energy to your product. Mass, size. Do your important stuff with your most energy. Whatever's biggest, save that for your most energetic moment. Don't say, well, I'm going to do that first. That's going to be the first thing on my list. But if your energy's not strong first, I wouldn't do the big thing first. I would do the thing that is okay if it's not okay. I would do that first when my energy's not great. But when my energy's great, I'm going after the big thing. I'm conquering the project because my energy is up, which is actually most of the time. And then the C word, speed in a vacuum, which means that I'm going to get in here and I'm locked in. My kids, now they're older now, so they don't come in and bother me. You know, if they see me in there recording something, I mean, they come up to the window, you know, in my home office, they're like, sounds good. What are you talking about? Is anyone awake? Are they still on the call? Ha ha ha. Marla, I'm blessed with my girl, because she does not understand what I do. And she's like at school, you know, what's Paul do? He does stuff on the internet with video. I'm like, don't tell people that. Quit. Stop. She said, yeah, I kept getting stared at. I quit that. So here's your answer. He makes money online. I don't know how, but it's legal. So that's what he does. So get in your vacuum, man. Don't let anything interfere. Cut your email off. You know, it's actually a blessing. I don't know if the internet's back up, But to be in the hotel and the internet went down, people are like angry, oh, I got the internet. We don't know what to do. We're like, suddenly, my pacifier is gone, my bottle, what do? What's happening? I'm thinking. I'm having thoughts. We need to cut it off. We need to say, I'm in my vacuum. This is what I'm not doing at this time. Nothing else exists. You say no to everybody, everything. Hey, back on people, just a second, sidebar, back, rewind. People, like, that's the reason caller ID was invented. It's not so you'll see who's calling, it's who you don't want to talk to. You know? And then, my favorite thing for people who like to talk on the phone a whole lot is that, and they know me, I don't do this to total strangers, though I may try and do a little quick testing, is that if it's somebody that I know talks a lot, I don't say hello or anything, I just go, you got 90 seconds. And then at the end of 90 seconds, you know, I hang up. And then they call back and I don't answer. And then the next day they call and say, you hung up. I said, did I say you had 90 seconds? And they'll say, yeah. What? I mean, you're angry because I kept my word? What's going on? So anyway, you can train people, because then the next time Bob calls, dude is ready. Hey, Paul, this is Bob. I want to tell you, it's awesome. It's awesome. You're not just controlling your time, you're controlling everybody else's time as well. That's the goal, my friends. The more passionate you are about your huge goal, dream, or desire, and the more focused you are on it, the possibility of your success exponentially increases. I love to work. I love it, love it, love it. It is so much fun for me. I have a great time with it. Sure, it's work, but it's not. It's cool. So, because I'm passionate about it. I've got huge goals, probably not as big of goals as a lot of you in this room. I just want to do some really just great work and impact lives. So passionate and then focused. I'm real focused on what I want to do. Now, I went through the whole distraction stage, and guess how much money I made while distracted? Right. So, I've been focused. Guess how much more money I'm making? Way more. No exact figures, because then I might have to throw out a disclaimer and say, you can't do that, or it's just not typical results. But when you're focused, man, you get so much more done. Listen, let's keep it simple. My girl and I, we got a great marriage. Why? Because I'm focused. I'm focused on baby girl. This is who exists for me. I adore her. She adores me. Now then, we use our love up with each other. Other people don't get quite as much love, because I'm focused on my love right here, so somebody else is like, Paul was mean to me. Yeah, but baby girl doesn't feel that way. She doesn't think I'm mean to her. My kids, they think that I'm mean to them, but they're teenagers, so they're supposed to. But, you know, so here, you know, here's my focus, here's my passion, here's my energy, and that's where I use that, and that's where I focus on. My marriage is not an accident. I've said this on calls, and sometimes I feel a little nervous about it because it sounds like bragging, and I guess really it is. But I wouldn't care if anybody in this room called my wife and said, is Paul a great husband? I would not be scared at all for you to do that. I wouldn't be scared for you to call my kids and say, is Paul a great dad? Does he hit hard? They would answer that way. Not anymore, fortunately. But he's a great dad. I wouldn't be, if there's any, like, people watching that is against any paddling, I'm just joking. So, you know, why? Because it's a focus. It's a focus for me. You know, I make fun of that, but I'm serious. That's a big part of my life. So I'm not scared of that. So we should not be scared in our area of focus for people to question us on it. To say, is that good? Do you really have a good product? Not are you trying to sell me something, you have a good product. I got a huge compliment this morning from Marilyn and from Jennifer on my Simple Six program. And I do a lot of training. I guess you said this was the best. Okay, so this is probably the best product. It's a simple product. So this is probably the best product you've ever done. Best. I like that. I'm not against those comments. So I said we're going to get a video testimonial later. But, you know, this is good work. People ought to be able to question us on our work and on our focus and be able to produce that. So you're going to filter your energy. You're going to filter your action. Your work, some people say it's a four-letter word. Okay, so it's not. It's just fun. And the gurus and all that, they work way more. You know, the whole you don't have to do anything, that's a sales technique. Because they all, you know, we made $100 kajillion in 24 hours. But, you know, it took so long. It took so long to do that 24 hours. It took years. to get to that 24 hours. You know, unless you've got the money, you have to work. And even then, you have to direct the energy. You have to direct it. You have to control it. So, you know, even people who are making money online took years and years and years. So I get up and talk in front of people. I've talked just about from birth, but I actually started speaking in the 6th grade. I was the valedictorian of 6th grade. I could not repeat in 12th. But, you know, in 6th grade, it doesn't even count. Why do they give that award out? But I was excited. Much to do, much to love, much to hope for. 6th grade. Right there, 6th grade speech. I'm thankful for how impressed you are. So then, by the time I was 16, people were paying me to talk. I didn't know that. I didn't pursue it. I would go and talk places, and they say, hey, we give you this thing called an honorarium. I said, what? I don't know if I want that. I mean, does that have to do with going to the office? Because you know, principal's office, because I spend enough time there. What's the honorarium? They said, it's where we give you money for what you said. I said, I am for it. Yes, let's do that. So, but what? You know, what I make and what I do is not a result of this moment. It's a result of all past moments. It's the cumulative effect, you know. So that's just part of it. Even stories that I tell, things that we laugh at, you know, a lot of that's just ad lib. I don't know what's coming next, but for early on, I had to be a lot more focused because I didn't know what worked. I didn't know how people responded. I didn't know if it was okay to be as strange as I am or as hyperactive as I am. Because I looked at a lot of professional people and they didn't act like me. And so I thought, well, if I'm supposed to act like that. Hello, everyone. We are certainly glad that you're here today. And so, you know, I found out people didn't really enjoy that as much as I thought they would. So then, the more strange I became, the more it seemed to help. And so that's just part of how you work. It's just part of how you work. People actually love strange people because it gives other people hope. They go, look at him. I can do this. We can't see him over the chair in front of us. He's hyperactive. He's certainly got something he's need to be medicated for. I can. I got rich quick because of the 4 years that led up to 6 weeks. Kevin Wilkie. Rich Shepherd. I like Rich a lot. I like a lot of his business teaching. He's one of the few guys that I actually follow. If you're looking to get rich quick, for a get rich quick scheme that will make you a millionaire by tomorrow at noon without breaking a sweat, I cannot give you what you seek. Amen. Filter your action. You're in control of it. I never made any real money until I stopped trying to locate the lazy way. Some dude named Paul Evans said that. Like him. Filtered finances, money, education, investing, value. Let me fill out the screen real quick. Okay. So we just got to invest in our education. How many of you went to college? All right. How many of you are currently working in the degree in which you went to college? Keep your hand up. All right, a few. You know, not near as many. Listen, I hate to brag, but I'm going to do it again. I crammed 4 years of college into 11. I did it. Management degree. I should have taken the how to get along with others, play well with others degree, but I didn't get that. So we're investing. This is education. This is not the answer. It's education. It's not the answer. It's education. When you buy a product, it's not the answer. It's education. We need to learn. We need to consume, and allow that to be integrated with who we are. We don't learn everything. John Piper is an evangelist, and he talks about that we're not changed by a book. We're changed by a sentence in a book, by a paragraph in a book. We don't remember everything. It's that one thing. I tell you, people get on my nerves. Well, it's a big list, but these people individually, is that people who say, I want a refund, I didn't learn anything new. I'm like, you got a problem, because we all learn something new. It doesn't matter who it is, I learn new stuff. I'm not in the niches that my friends are, but I learn. Man, I learn every time that I come. I learn from every conversation that I have. I am a learner. And for the minute that we start thinking, I already knew that, I'm like, yeah, I bet. I've had people before, I've said, send me evidence. Send me evidence. I've never gotten an email back. Isn't that weird? Send me evidence that you knew this. That's like reading a book on changing the carburetor. I know how to change a carburetor. Fine, walk over to my car. Let's see what you got. I just said I know how. I can't actually. I don't care what you know. I want to know what you do. That is what's important to me. So money and investing, let's filter our finances. Let's be careful. We ain't got to buy every product. Let's buy some products that are aligned. You know, the reason you're here is you participated in a product that you're aligned with. and you liked it, and you enjoyed it, and you didn't give up, and you like Carrie, and we like Carrie, and we like the product, we like the value. Many of you that have been on calls with me and Perry and Carrie said we like the value. You know, that's cool. That's what it's really about. And then there are people who know everything, and this didn't work out well for them. But there are offers that come in. You got to filter them. You don't need everything. Everything's not the answer. You filter the offers. So I'm working on, let's say, a squeeze page. I don't know how to do a squeeze page. 55 offers are in my inbox. One is about how to instantly build a squeeze page, and then all the others on something else. I wonder, out of the 55, which one do I actually need? What am I doing right now? What do I need to fulfill that? Oh, wow. I don't actually need that course on how to build interactive websites with a database that instantly recognizes the individual sitting in front of it, takes their DNA, encodes it straight into the screen. I don't need that right now. I need a squeeze page. Quit buying stuff you don't need. I mean, good night. Go back later. Where's the special offer? If I don't get it right now, it's going to be gone. Yeah, that's exactly the way it works. That's exactly how it works. The offer's over. Don't test this. Just take my word for it. Offer's over. It's been gone for a month. Contact that person and said, hey, I wasn't able to get your offer. I'm sorry I missed that, but I'm real interested now. They're not going to go, oh, I'm so sorry, we're out. It's digital. They've got it. You know, if you contact me, Paul, I missed your sale. I would like to now give you money. I'm not going to go, I'm sorry. I'm going to go, well, you know what? There was one nut that refunded. You get their spot. Because by that time, somebody's refunded. You can have their spot. Somebody's made a return. So only go after offers that are going to specifically, you need to write this down before you purchase stuff. You need to say, this is specifically how this is going to help me in what I'm specifically doing right now. This is what I'm doing. This is how it will help. If you can't answer that, don't get it. But I want it. I know it's because we're great marketers. We've created the desire that you did not know existed. How wonderful. So it will not be the answer. You're not going to buy one product and that's the answer. It just doesn't work that way. You didn't go to class 1 and say, I am now a brain surgeon. It's amazing. I went to one course. Most of us went to 4 years of college and didn't learn too much. So it takes a lot more than one course. And really, those of us who are in marketing, we need to quit feeding people that this is all you'll ever need. It's so much better to say this is a component because 1, it's honest, and 2, it helps people become attached to you and stay with you longer. Okay, filtered finances, filtered responsibility, excuses, personal responsibility, cause and result, who done it. Okay, personal responsibility, cause and result, who done it. We just got to take responsibility. The only way our business is going to grow is because of us. It's not somebody else's fault, it's our fault. And, you know, who went to school for that degree? When you talk to somebody that hates their job, just ask these questions. Who went to school for that degree? Who filled out that application? Who prayed for that job? Who keeps showing up day after day? Wow, same answer to all those questions. Whose fault is it that you're miserable? Interesting. Who put themselves in this situation? Wild. It's our fault. But the cool thing is when things go great, we get to claim that too. My success is my fault. We don't get stuff done, it's our fault. Well, no, you know, I love Carrie with this, you know, but she starts talking about the weight loss, the number of kids, and, you know, everybody's like, okay, I'm in trouble, aren't I? You are, because we can carve out more time. We all have time that we're wasting. We all have time we can focus more. We can get up just 30 minutes earlier or stay up 30 minutes later or not use our lunch break. There's plenty of time that's available. We've always had time for stuff we want to do. I'm always been amazed by that. People will say, I don't have, you know, I'm just not going to be able to do that. I don't have time. Let's go play golf. Okay, what time? We're in control of all that. So let's take responsibility. Carrie hits that a lot, so no more on that. 3 anchors of achievement: clarity, control, and commitment. You got to be clear on what you want to do and why you want to do it. Just be clear on it. It does not have to be a treaty or treatise or a huge mission statement or strategy statement. Just be clear. This is what I want to do in the next hour. Boom. Take control of that hour. Nothing else interferes. It's just repeat information of things that we've covered, but it allows it to be a little bit more focused. And then commitment. I'm making a commitment to get it done. It's Saturday. I sure would like to go to X, Y, and Z, but I've got to get this done. I don't get to leave. I thought it was going to take me an hour. It took me 2 hours. Too bad. You missed the party because you made a commitment. Get it done so that you don't just leave and go, wow, sure was close. Or if I'd worked another hour, just get it done and celebrate a success. And quit stopping work too early. Just get it finished. And then it doesn't matter if it's not the way you want. Okay, just celebrate that you did it. Man, celebrate. I got my blog. Wow, it sure is ugly, but I got my blog. Yes, I bought the domain name. It stinks. It's not keyword rich, but you got it. Celebrate some of those things. Quit making it that you only celebrate the big stuff. Celebrate everything. Celebrate everything. When we went the other night to that 42-inch pizza place, 42-inch, I'm only 43 inches tall, 42 inches. And we love that. We celebrate that. We're sitting around the table. We're celebrating stuff. We've got to give ourselves permission to be committed, and then a 4, well, you know, 4 should be celebration. So that'd be in the family of C's. And then finally, we're going to become a time machine. This is I could have just covered this, and it would have been all you needed. So I'm sorry for all that previous information. Oh, 10:21. I'm quitting at 10:22. 5. Excellent. This is perfect. Time machine. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? This is what you're going to write down. You're going to write down what you're going to do. This is how you plan your day. What I'm going to do. How long will it take me? I hate that I'm making this so confusing. How long will it take me? And when am I going to do it? It is just this simple, Bruce Evans. It's just that simple. And so, I'm going to do a blog. Now, I'm going to do a blog because now I know how to do one, okay? So, what am I going to do? I'm going to create a blog. If I had my laptop and the internet was working and I already had a domain name, I would create a blog probably in about, using Fantastico. How long do you think it'd take me to do a blog? 5 minutes, okay? So what? I'm going to do a blog. How long is it going to take me? 5 minutes. And now I know this because why? Raw. Repeating accuracy wins. I know how long it takes me to do a blog. It's not guesswork for me. So I can write down 5 minutes. If you've never done a blog, even using Fantastico, you're probably going to have to put down an hour just to be safe. 60 minutes. Now here's what people do. They go into something like that. I'm going to make a blog. They get in there and they stare at the screen. What do I need to do? What you need to do is you need to go to Google and type in, how in the world do I do a blog with Fantastico? Because you saw that in your cPanel. And then suddenly, what? There's 15 videos that show you step by step. So now your hour turn into really about 30 minutes, even for the brand new. That's why Google exists, for us to find stuff we don't know. And I do this constantly. When there's stuff I don't know, someone say, how you do that? I go, I don't know. Well, look, there's the answer, and there's a video with it. I don't sit there staring at the page going, okay, username. Something I can remember, something creative, catchy. I have recognized the problem. You know, all right. So how long, and then when am I going to do it? I'm going to do it at 4 a.m. I'm going to be done at 4:05, maybe 4:07. But if this is one of my things for the day, then I'm going to go ahead and put my theme in there, and I'm going to go ahead and change the banner. So now I'm going to put 60 minutes. I can do all of that easy in 60 minutes because I know what I can do. I know how long it takes me. Now, some of you are already going, well, I don't know how long. Fine, just get you a block and then have 60 minutes. Now, here's the thing. This is opposite of the last screen. When you're learning something new for the first time, you've got to write down how long it took you the first time. How long did it take you to do that blog? Paul said it took me 60 minutes. It took me 5 hours. Dear Paul, you are dumb. Fine. Okay, it took you 5 hours. The next time you do one, it took you an hour. What happened? I don't know, but it took a lot less time. And then finally you get to the 5-minute mark, and now you know your times. Don't simply think about your times. Write your times down so that you know. So what, how long, and win. You do that and you control every single amount of your work time if you can be disciplined when you do that. I believe, Carrie, that that is it, and it is 10:25. Thank you.